Iowa's news leader. This is News Channel 8.
A Des Moines man is dead after a party gets out of hand outside a downtown bar. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Erin Hurley. Steve Oswalt has the night off. Police say it was a 4th of July party that turned into a holiday brawl with gunfire. It happened this morning at the Night Shift Bar in the 400 block of East Locust. 25-year-old Anthony Maurice Lavelle died after a bullet hit him in the chest. As News Channel 8's Todd Megel reports, police need your help to close the case.
It was supposed to be a July 4th party, but some of the fireworks turned out to be gunshots, and now one man is dead. Anthony Lavelle was a DJ here at the Night Shift Bar. After it closed early Sunday morning, the crowd outside began to shoot off fireworks. Then a fight broke out. Police say that's when Lavelle walked outside to see what was happening.
He thought maybe somebody that he knew was involved and came outside to see what was going on. What exactly he was thinking, of course, we don't know.
Des Moines police say by the time Lavelle got to the sidewalk here outside the bar, the fight had ended. But somebody had a gun and fired at least one shot. It hit Lavelle in the chest, and he died later at the hospital. Police say 50, maybe even 100 people were outside the bar when the gunshots rang out. They hope a few of those witnesses can help point a finger at the killer.
It could be easier if all of those people would come forward and tell us what they saw.
Investigators are not saying if Lavelle was a target or simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Todd Megel, News Channel 8.
If you have any information about this morning's shooting, you're encouraged to call the Des Moines Police at 283-4824 or Polk County Crime Stoppers at 223-1400. A police chase had officers circling a Des Moines neighborhood. It happened on the city's southeast side just before 5 o'clock tonight. News Channel 8's Myra Ruiz was there. She joins us from the newsroom with details. Myra?
Well, Aaron, the chase began with a police car and a Blazer. After a few twists and turns, it ended just a few blocks away. By the end of the chase, there was a man in custody, a flat tire, and a bewildered neighbor.
It scared me to death because I thought, well, this man must be a mass murderer or something.
It all began a few blocks away. Officer Joe Gonzalez tried to stop a Blazer believed to be carrying drugs. Police say the man behind the wheel was 32-year-old Com Kwong. He didn't stop. Instead,
the driver of the car jumped out and ran and left the car rolling, and the car subsequently jumped the curb and came to a rest in a grassy area.
So the chase continued on foot. Then police say Kwong got back in the vehicle.
But at that point, there was an attempt to run the officer down. There was 2 shots fired by the officer.
The suspect wasn't shot. The officer had aimed for the front right tire, but that still didn't stop the suspect. He took off running again right up Rachel Bale's driveway.
And he stood right here, it's on the sidewalk, and he was hollering through my window.
Bales went outside and Kwong told her he needed a ride. He also mentioned he was running from police.
By this time, the street's full of cops. So he turns around and goes back to the streetway and he throws something under here.
That something turned out to be a bag full of meth. Police quickly surrounded Kwong, and before long, the Bales' driveway was empty again.
It makes you think twice whether you want to come outside and talk to somebody or not.
Kwong remains in custody. He's facing several felonies, and the officer in the chase was not injured.
Sounds like a wild night.
I think so.
Thank you, Myra.
Sure.
More than 4 inches of rain created some tense moments in western Iowa today. The town of Glenwood got in deep. Our Western Iowa Live Link crew shot these pictures. Many of the flooding problems were caused by overflowing creeks. The high water stayed for a couple of hours. Luckily, it went back down this afternoon. If you ventured out in the Des Moines metro area today, chances are you got caught in this. Rain, rain, and more rain. It began raining around 9 this morning and kept going into the afternoon. Luckily, today's rain showers weren't serious enough to cause any new problems in the city. We're hoping for some more good news from the weather department, but Curtis, we're talking about storms again, right?
Right, some more showers and thunderstorms right now outside in western Iowa. Take a look right now, live Super Doppler picking up those storms, and you'll see a couple locations out there. Now, there is the potential for some damaging winds with these storms. They slide down to the south and southeast. So just around Highway 44 and west of Highway 25, west of Guthrie Center, a good cell of thunderstorm activity and more of this activity along the Missouri River. So for tonight, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. A low temperature about 68 degrees. For tomorrow, look for partly sunny skies, about a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly during the morning hour. Other than that, warm and humid. High temperatures 89, near 90 degrees in some locations, and plenty of moisture out there. So look to heat things up as we head into the work week.
It doesn't sound good.
No.
Thanks, Curtis. We've seen the devastation brush fires are leaving in Florida, but that's not the only place they're blazing. Dry, hot days are also fueling wildfires in southern Europe. Fires are raging in parts of southern Europe, including Cyprus, Italy, and Greece. High winds have made it harder for firefighters to get the blazes under control. On Saturday alone, as many as 200 fires were reported in Greece. Many of them were near Athens.
A lot of the homes were saved here, very few lost, and I'm totally impressed.
Some of the homes along Florida's Palm Coast were spared thanks to the aggressive work of firefighters. But the brush fire still did a lot of damage in the resort town. Today, thousands of people in Central Florida were allowed to go back to their homes, or what's left of them.
It is one of the worst that I have ever seen.
A tanker truck fell onto this Virginia underpass after being hit nearly head-on by the driver of a Honda Accord. There are no survivors in this crash, which claimed the lives of 7 people. The 4th of July is considered the deadliest holiday of the year. Attention East Siders, you're about to get your lights knocked out again. But this time, it's part of a plan. We'll explain next. And if you missed last night's show, don't worry, we didn't. Stay with us.
You're watching News Channel 8, Iowa's news leader. With Steve Oswald, Aaron Hurley, meteorologist Curtis Gertz, and Jason Elliott Sports. This is News Channel 8.
Is back on after our devastating storms. But for some on the east side, you can expect to lose your power again, though this time it won't be for long. Trying to get the lights back on as quickly as possible, Mid-American crews made some temporary fixes. Starting this week, they'll go back to make permanent repairs. While workers install new poles, customers may lose their power for up to 30 minutes at a time.
It's going to take quite a while, I think, to make permanent repairs to a lot of this damage, especially in the east side where you have a number of lines that were affected.
Mid-American says some customers could lose their power several times during the repair work. If your lights go out, you can call Mid-American to make sure it's part of the scheduled power outages. The number to report problems is 1-800-799-4443. If you need help recovering from the severe storms, you might not have to look far. The American Red Cross is opening a service center. It will open tomorrow at the United Way of Central Iowa Conference Center. Red Cross volunteers will meet with storm victims one-on-one. You should bring something showing your address at the time of the disaster. Central Iowa streets were flooded this weekend, flooded with parades, kids, candy, and fun. In Windsor Heights, there were even a few extras: dogs, horses, even a Mickey Mouse car. Everyone was in the 4th of July spirits.
Happy 4th of July!
This clown is just part of the Independence Day fun at Urbandale's annual parade. Some people kicked back while excited kids chased candy. Thankfully, we were able to keep the rain away, even if it was just for the day. Some things are worth waiting for, like the fireworks display at Sec Taylor Stadium. Last night's Iowa Cubs game went 15 innings, but the I-Cubs had something to celebrate, a win. The crowd hung in there, and things finally got off the ground shortly after midnight. Some blasts from the past cruised through town this weekend. All weekend long, classic car lovers rolled in for the Good Guys show at the fairgrounds. People drove their hot rods from all over the country. Some car buffs came from pretty far, too. I saw a lot of those cars around town.
Yeah, rumbling around town. Kind of adds excitement to the air out there.
It does.
Not such a nice day today. A few showers and thunderstorms across Central Iowa, and we're keeping that activity going right through the overnight hours. Super Doppler details. They're next.
Meteorologist Curtis Gertz has been awarded the American Meteorological Society Seal of Approval for excellence in television weathercasting.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great July 4th weekend. I hope you stayed out of trouble. My dad got busted for fireworks. He just called on the phone. I don't know why I'm telling you that. $146 fine. So hope you stayed out of trouble. 70 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the east at about 6 miles per hour. Again, those thunderstorms developing across western Iowa. The dew point 70 degrees. The humidity 100% and the barometer is on the rise. Live Super Doppler picking up, the storms have tapered off, but there's still some strong storms out to the west and the potential out there for some strong winds with these storms. So keep that in mind as they slide down to the south, southeast. Storms to the west of Carroll, north of Council Bluffs, and then one cell over in, western Guthrie County right now. And this one probably producing some small hail, and it's not moving too quickly, so the potential also for some heavy rain. And these scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue right through the overnight hour. Regional Doppler picking up storms out there, too. And right now we're already at 1 inch and 5/100 of rain here in the metro, and now that's 24.22 inches for the year, already over 7 inches of rain above normal. So lots of rain across the region. Regional Doppler picking up. It has tapered off. This brought some heavy rain across the state, parts of, Cass County and Pottawatomie County, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. And unfortunately, this line you see right here dropping on down across the Missouri River is going to bring some more heavy rain. And we are expecting more activity to break out through the overnight hour. So the rain just keeps on keeping on right through our Sunday and in through our early Monday. Temperature 67 Mason City, 71 in Ottumwa, 72 Audubon, 74 degrees in Sioux City. High temperature today just 72. We should be in the mid-80s. The overnight low at 66. We zoom in and take it down into Boone, 72 degrees, 73 Webster City, 72 Marshalltown, 73 in Sheridan, and 75 in Atlantic. Here's satellite picture. Again, very strong storms through the morning hour in western Iowa. And then we had kind of 2 batches move through the metro, and now this activity in western Iowa with the potential for some damaging winds. No warnings or watches in effect right now, but a few of these storms could produce some wind gusts around 60, possibly 62 miles per hour. Frontal boundary kind of hung up across the state. It is going to push to the north, and it looks to take the rain chances with it right through the early afternoon. But by tomorrow night, this system will slide on through and bring us a better chance of some rain. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s. Lots of humidity out there tomorrow. Super Doppler details for tonight. They go like this. Widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Wind southeast at 10, a low temperature down at 68 degrees. For tomorrow, warm and humid, a 30% chance of thunderstorms, high of 89, south winds at 10. Tomorrow night, scattered thunderstorms, low down at 71 degrees. And then for Tuesday, chance of thunderstorms early, a high of 86. 5-day forecast. It's going to be a hot one this week. And even though the temperatures will be pushing near 90, there's going to be loads of humidity, especially early on. So it's going to feel a lot hotter, especially tomorrow. Again tonight, along the Missouri River, especially about the western third of Iowa, the potential for some strong thunderstorms out there. We'll keep an eye on things for you once again.
We keep getting weather we don't want. Is anybody in the country enjoying nice weather?
San Diego, it's always good there, isn't it? I haven't even checked, but I think it is.
I was going to say we haven't heard about any nice
right,
weather.
There you go.
Texas has the dry days, Florida has the fires, and we have the rain.
Right.
Thank you, Curtis. Here's what's coming up in tomorrow's Des Moines Register. Is new equipment ruining the game of golf? Check out the golf page. Plus, find out how careful observations during your summer vacations could lead to investment opportunities. And take a look at a trend in Iowa, restrooms for the whole family. Iowa Cubs are back at bat after going out with a bang. Plus, things are up in the air in this big league game. And we're not talking fireworks. Jason Elliott will be in next with sports.
Closed captioning of News Channel 8 is brought to you as a public service by KCCI and the cardiologists, surgeons, and staff at the Iowa Heart Center.
Not much of a holiday weekend for the Iowa Cubs.
No, these guys were working long and hard this weekend indeed. Yeah, a long weekend keeps getting longer and longer and then longer some more for the Iowa Cubs. After a 5-hour, 15-inning game last night, Iowa and Oklahoma got together for a Sunday night twin bill. One problem, a whole lot of rain. It delayed it for about an hour and a half. Oklahoma, though, led early, then tried for more. Scott Sheldon to right. Micah Franklin gutted it home. Tom Quinlan coming in, and he is meat. Cubs trail by 3 in the second. Jason Maxwell gets things going. The single left. Jason Hartke in. Kerry Bridges in. It's a one-run game. Still in the second. Robin Jennings, he ties it. This single will score Chris Peterson. In fact, Iowa would go on from there to take game 1, 7-6. They are scoreless right now early in game number 2. Well, in honor of Harry Carey, the Chicago Cubs allow certain celebrities to sing during the 7th-inning stretch, just like Harry did. However, the late Mr. Carey never sang like the special guest did today.
1 and a 2 and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Bobby's coming up.
man. Cut off Coach Ditka. Cubs, Pirates. Here goes Chicago in the 8th inning. Jose Hernandez drives in 2. Oh, goodness, Chicago, after unplugging their ears, they came through for a 7-6 win over Pittsburgh. Oh, man. Stick to football. Reds over the Cards, 6-1. It's Montreal losing out to Florida, 2-1. Philly over Milwaukee. Houston knocks off Arizona. San Diego, 5 better than the Rocks. San Fran shuts down the Dodgers. But meanwhile, a very interesting game in Atlanta. Braves, Mets, a wild one, tied at 2 in the 11th. Walt Weiss to left. Michael Tucker trying to score in the play. Here comes the throw home, and he is, oh, he's in. Are you kidding? The Mets disagree. They go nuts. Take a look at the replay. The foot is in, the ball is there, the call safe. Atlanta gets the win, 3-2 in 11. Elsewhere in the American League, Toronto over Tampa 2-1. It's Boston over the White Sox in a slugfest. Yanks get by Baltimore. Cleveland big time over Kansas City. The Twins flip by the Tigers. Oakland over Anaheim 5-4. Also Texas double Seattle 8-4 the final. Very simply put, a repeat for Pete at the Wimbledon Tennis Championships. Pete Sampras gunning for back-to-back singles titles at the All England Club, facing Goran Ivanisevic, who showed off. Look at this, behind and under the legs. Fancy schmancy. This game and match went to 5 sets. Sampras near court. The unforced error, and he has a 5th Wimbledon championship. Back-to-back titles for Pete Sampras. He wins today at the All England Club. Well, it began in a 3-way tie, and after regulation, the Greater Hartford Open ended in a 3-way tie. Olin Brown, Stuart Sink, Larry Mize all tied at 14 under. The sudden death playoff. Olin Brown, are you kidding? The chip shot from 40 yards, 40 feet, check that. It's in. Stuart Sink has one more chance to force a second playoff hole. His putt does not go. Olin Brown birdies and takes the Greater Hartford Open, his first win ever on the PGA Tour. The ladies, meanwhile, Anna President in Wisconsin for the Women's U.S. Open. Out of nowhere, amateur Jenny Carisaporn jumps into this thing. Oh, Jenny. A 1/72. Third round leader, Savory Pack, could have won it right here with this putt, but no. The two are tied after regulation. They'll play an 18-hole playoff tomorrow. Well, even though it is summertime, there's still basketball plenty across the metro this weekend. The Des Moines area hosts the AAU National Basketball Championships for girls 15 and under. The tournament has brought hundreds of teams to town from all over the country. It's also brought around many college coaches. Some traveled a ways to get here. Others did not.
Yeah, there's some talented kids here, and I think that, they're starting to play at a younger age. They're well coached. The AAU program gives them a chance to play on a national level against a lot of teams from all over the country, so it just helped the growth of the sport.
The tournament runs all this week now, with the title game set for Saturday at the Knapp Center. Well, speaking of Saturday, it's T-minus 6 days and counting until the next Barnstormer football game, so get your football fix now. Time for Barnstormers Weekly. It's next.
Get ready. Here we come. Get ready.
Get ready, Barnstormers fans. It's time for Barnstormers Weekly, the official show of the Iowa Barnstormers, sponsored by Scrap Processors, your real linemen.
Well, are the Barnstormers back after Thursday night's game against Albany? The win, you sure got to think so. Iowa and the Firebirds last week, and it sure looks like the Barnstormers of old. Look at this. A couple of breaks for Iowa. This is Chad Dukes with the Firebirds on the kickoff. Whoops. Out the back of the end zone. It's a Barnstormer football. Iowa takes over from there. The Stormers, they led by as many as 10. No, make that 17. Great move by Carlos James. He gets the pass from Aaron Garcia. Touchdown, 34-17 Iowa. But back comes Albany. The big pass to Eddie Brown. It's 47 yards for the score. We're tied at 48. But Iowa right back. Another strike to Carlos. Look at him go. There's no stopping Carlos. He's in. It's a 55-48 game. Albany with one last chance. Denied. Big defensive play, and Iowa comes through with the win, 55-48. Carlos James and others on the big stop.
It was a good play, Our coach called the play, He knew it was coming, but we didn't. And Todd Harrington and Shea Showers did a great job of, running to the ball, and I just happened to come in at the end, and our D-line got some pressure on the quarterback, got the hands up. It was just a good, solid football play.
After the first series, we started mixing it up a lot and kind of got Albany off balance. We ran the ball a little bit at this time, threw a couple screens, and changed up the protection. And the receivers did a great job of running with the ball after they caught it, and the line did a great job. So, when you do that, you're going to give yourself a chance to win.
So the Barnstormers put up 55 points last week. They did it without 2 of their favorite targets. Arena football veterans Leonard Conley and Lamar Cooper out. There's Conley out with a dislocated elbow that he suffered a week ago. Also gone, offensive specialist Lamar Cooper. He's been out of action with a bum knee, and there's still no telling when Coop will come back.
Lamar Cooper still was struggling with that knee injury as of last week, and we had a medical checkup on him actually the game day, and I don't know the total results of that examination at this point in time.
Meanwhile, the standings still just a 2-game distance from top to bottom in the Central. Houston even at 5-5, Milwaukee a game back. Then Grand Rapids and Iowa at 3-7, and yes, believe it or not, the playoffs still very much alive for the Barnstormers.
For the last 5 weeks, we've been playing good football. We've been giving ourselves a chance to win. And in this league, you know, that's all you can ask. If we would have been doing that from day one, you know, we'd probably be sitting you know, in a good situation.
You're never out of it unless you're like 0-11 or something like that. Then you're out of it. But we're not out of it. We don't think so. Every week we practice hard like we are already in the playoffs. You know, so we go keep working at it and doing what we got to do, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season.
And so the Barnstormers still have a chance. We also still have a lot more to come here on Barnstormers Weekly. We will preview next week's game at San Jose, which brings us to the big trivia question. What arena football coach won 2 Super Bowls with San Francisco? The answer when we come back. More on the SaberCats in just a bit. Of course, there's been more than just a little turnover personnel-wise with the Barnstormers this year. But last Thursday, a certain new face really stood out. And that new face, it's the subject of our Barnstormer Spotlight. Of all the new Barnstormers this year, there is one guy who came out of nowhere and just in the nick of time.
I think the first guy that stands out in my mind is Jack Walker.
He's an arena football rookie, but last Thursday, Jack Walker played like a veteran.
Dream come true. All I wanted was to get in there, see what I could do, and I finally got my chance.
Fresh off the practice squad, Walker caught 4 passes for 58 yards last week. But that's not all. He also helped on defense with 5 tackles. All this in his first ever regular season game as a Barnstormer.
It was everything I expected. The crowd was wild, and that's everything I love, but I still love to play. I'm here to play, and so if the coach wants me to step down for the veteran to come back, you know, and do whatever he asks.
Walker stepped in because of key injuries in the Barnstormer receiving corps. Veterans Leonard Conley and Lamar Cooper are out, so for right now, Jack Walker is in.
I look at it as the Wally Pipp story, and when Wally Pipp got ill or took a day off, and Lou Garrett came in and took his place and then played forever. I mean, it could be one of those deals. Yes, I expect him to play more.
Jack Walker never played college football. Great story with the Barnstormers. Now up next for Iowa, the San Jose SaberCats, their coach Todd Shell. He played the NFL, as we told you. But their quarterback, Ron Lopez, used to play right here in Iowa. Lopez, a former Barnstormer backup. He played second to Kurt Warner a few years ago, but now he's the San Jose starter. In fact, Lopez led the Cats to a 23-point win over Portland last night. Now, containing him will be key for any Barnstormer success next week.
Touchdown. Well, Ron Lopez is a quality person, and we really liked having him here. And you know, you always go back, well, why did you trade that guy? He had a teaching job in Anaheim. So now he's bounced around to Florida and got hurt last year and all that kind of stuff, and he's playing very well right now. Prior to the playoff game, had done a very nice job of defensing our offense, and we found a few holes in that playoff game, and hopefully we can exploit those this game.
Always a great game when San Jose and the Barnstormers get together. This week, it's 9:30 Saturday, the Stormers and the SaberCats. Of course, more coming up this week on News Channel 8. Stick around. We've got more to come here on News Channel 8 at 10 right after this.
Curtis is back with a look at how we're going to start out this week.
Well, a few showers and thunderstorms out there. Also heat and humidity on the way. Live Super Doppler picking those up across about the western third of the state. These are sliding down to the south-southeast with the potential for some heavy rain and very strong winds.
Just what we don't need.
Yeah, more storms.
Thank you, Curtis. For all the latest, join News Channel 8 this morning with Curtis Gertz tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.